As Maura told you, SInAPSi has 4 branches. One is about disabled students and students with learning disabilities or problems. The second is counseling or benessere, successo formativo, how to cope with learning difficulty students in order to help them to pass the exam. And Professoressa Freda is the coordinator of these activities. The third one is occupability, how to help students to pass from the state of students to the state of workers, and Maura Striano is the head of this. And the fourth is anti-discrimination culture of differences. And Professor Amodeo is the coordinator. Unfortunately, she's busy today and she cannot be here. So I'm speaking on behalf of me and her about this service. But before starting, I would like to show you a very small video, because this video expresses the position of the SInAPSi group about any kind of diversity, the position of depathologization, and all the challenges that this means. So we start with this video, how to be a girl, please. It's in American, so very easy for you.
6 years ago, I gave birth to my first and only child. A boy.
Hello. I am 38. I'm 29, and I really love you.
When he was 2 years old, my son began insisting on wearing only pink clothes, preferably ones with lots of sparkles and ruffles on them.
She dresses so pretty. She really loves me. She really.
When he turned 3, he begged me to buy him some dresses and let him grow his hair long. That made the grandparents a little nervous, but we went with it.
That one's a fairy and that one's a princess.
Why is she a fairy and she's a princess?
Because fairies are magic and princesses don't. That's the difference. And also, they can't fly and they can. Fairies fly and princesses walk.
And then one day, in a conversation that I kind of knew was coming, but it still knocked the wind out of me, my child told me that he was actually a girl, not a boy. He looked me in the eyes and told me something had gone wrong in my tummy that made him come out as a boy instead of a girl. He wanted me to put him back. He begged me to put him back, to fix this mistake. He was 3 years old. I spent the following year resisting, trying to present alternatives. I told my child over and over again that he could continue to be a boy and play with all the Barbies he wanted and wear whatever he liked, dresses, skirts, all the sparkles money could buy. But my child said no, absolutely not. She was a girl. What are your favorite things to play with?
My princess things.
Your princess things? Why do you like princesses so much?
I just kind of do.
Do you think it's okay for boys to like princesses?
But I'm a girl.
After 12 long months of making both myself and my child miserable, I finally let my little boy go.
Goodbye. Hello. Now let's do it. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
We switched to female pronouns and told our family and friends that she was a girl now. She wanted a new name, a girl name. At first, she picked Rainbow. I was relieved when she changed her mind and named herself after her aunt. So now I have a girl,
Talk about princesses.
a daughter.
Actually, I need to hear about how spaceships fly.
A really happy daughter. I adore my daughter. But sometimes I look at photos of my baby boy and I miss him so much. This probably sounds crazy, but sometimes I wonder where he is. It's like he was a dream I had one night, and then morning came and I woke up and he was gone. And now there's this little girl in his place, telling me that the boy was just a dream, just someone I imagined. As far as she is concerned, there never was a boy. Could you explain that to me one more time? What's the difference between you and Holly?
She has a vagina and I have a penis. I'm a girl with a penis and she is a girl with a vagina.
You're a girl with a penis and she's a girl with a vagina?
Yes.
So now that I have a daughter instead of a son, what does this actually mean for her? And for me as her mother?
Pink is a mama. Pink is a mama.
Other than letting her wear pretty dresses and using different pronouns, what has actually changed? What does this newly minted girl need to know? What do I need to teach her about how to be a girl?
The girl alien does all the work while the boy alien sleeps and eats.
Do I even know how to be a girl?
The girls also have blue and purple spots.
And if a girl can be a senator or an astronaut or a plumber, if a girl can wear pants and have short hair, if a girl can even have a penis, what is a girl anyway?
Who gets to decide if you're a boy or girl?
Me!
I started with this video because I think it's very useful in order to open our minds about the challenges of our days, about the problems of inclusion of this girl. What will happen when she will go to the school? Is the school prepared to let her feel a girl with a penis? What about bathroom? What about gender equalities? What about all the issues? And of course, another question is how to teach her to be a girl, or how to teach a boy to be a boy nowadays. I mean, this is one of the challenge that the SInAPSi cope with in order to create a really inclusive context for all students, also for when she will go to university. When we speak about inclusion, we speak about processes aimed at changing the context in order to let people feel at home in any place. So it's not integration. We do not ask them to integrate, to change, in order to be accepted by the context. but how to change the context, how to change the culture in order to let people feel free to be themselves. Gay, lesbian, straight, cisgender, transgender, and so on. It's not easy because we still live in a binary world. And binary means either or. Sorry? Ok. Scusami. Binary means either or. And we live in a world where the color of a rainbow should be accepted. So the title is Gender Variant and Psychological Well-Being of LGBT plus people at university. I wrote students in my program, but of course, you see, I am very lucky because someone prepared slides for me. But I think that they were right, because the well-being at Naples University is not only for students, but also for the personnel, for teaching staff and non-teaching staff. So I think that it's better as they wrote. So the first slide, please. And so education, context, and psychological well-being. Education represents a context of development, growth, and we need to let people feel fine in the university, and the climate should be always a climate of inclusion. This is important in university, but it's most important in the school setting, because for children, the school is a place where their development growth develops, so it's very important. Go on. And, the research shows that generally higher education institutions are hostile environments for gay students due to homophobia and heterosexism. Yeah, very heteronormative context, very genderist, sexist context, and we have to cope with this issue in order to change it. So when we speak about inclusion, one of the most important things to cope with is minority stress. What is minority stress? Minority stress is very well explained in the video, where the mother said, for 1 year, I tried to change. It was a very painful news for me. I mean, the sight, when the mother was looking at her child, she was depressed. And child felt that it was not accepted. From that point of life of child starts all the problems linked to minority stress. To the stress linked to be part of a minority. And it's very stressful for a boy or for a girl not to be accepted as you would like to be accepted. It's very interesting when the girls say, who decides if you are a boy or girl? Me. Self-determination. And this is one of the most important things we have to cope with to let people feel well. And so one of the main objectives of university context is promoting gender equality and inclusion. And so we are working in order to create a more inclusive learning, teaching, and working environment. And these are the aims of our division, anti-discrimination. The objective of promoting the well-being and health of all those who belong to the academic community, so professors, students, tech administrative staff, etc., with a specific focus on fighting and preventing discrimination related to gender and sexual orientation. is not easy, but possible. Because the new generation are more prepared to these new challenges. And of course, students, people, always put different questions. When I was a student, we could not at all speak about being gay, university, and so on. I mean, then I am 74 years old, so then homosexuality was considered a mental disorder. It was cured very well. They had very, very good cure. Electroshock, mental health hospitals. They could not live freely. Now things are changing, but still for transgender people, there are very many prejudgments and stigma. We have a gender clinic at the Policlinico that you visited 2 days before. And we also take care of children and adolescents. When we say to a parent that the boy or girl is transgender, they say, oh, professor, gay yes, transgender no. Because the stigma is still about sex working, at least in Italy. I don't know what's about the States. So it's a big, big, big issue. Let's go. So the objective, increasing awareness of students and staff, implementing a series of actions aimed at educating on issues related to sexual minorities, and reducing prejudice and verbal, psychological, and physical violence against women and gay, bisexual, transgender. We should put asexual now, because it's a new subjectivity that has to be accepted and recognized. Asexual students. And providing support. Okay. How? So these are some of our activities. Training, information, awareness raising activities. Psychological counseling, of course, with double L, because we are European, even if British left us, but we still use them. We should think about this. Counseling for organization, and also we have a university observatory on differences, and web communication and information. Web is very important and useful nowadays. Let's go on. Okay. We do a lot of activities about this. The most of them are based upon counseling concepts. Group discussion, place where students can express themselves, share experiences, and also have the possibility to meet gay people, transgender people, because one of the most important things is to let people know the otherness. We have some PhD non-binary transgender students. We often ask them, we invite them in our meeting in order to let students speak about this issue with someone who has the problem. Because the expert often says something, but if the person speaks about the emotions, it's much better for changing the attitude. Also, we work a lot on the representative of student association in order to start an empowerment process, because then they can speak with the students of the association and try to let them change their attitudes. We are very proud that we call this Antenna Satellite project. It's a project, I don't know what thing is for satellite. Satellite, I mean, it's sort of, yes. And we're very proud because after one of our training group, an association of students, as Maura told before you, asked the director to change our rule about, we call it carrera alias identity. I mean, a student transgender can ask to the university to be recognized with the name that is in line with the gender perceived, but still need a certificate of a medical doctor, a psychologist, and so on. The students understood that it was pathologizing, and so they asked the director to change the rule in order to offer to the students the possibility to self-determine themselves. They have just to say, I feel like that. I do not need any certificate, because we do not need any certificate to say that I am a man and I feel a man, or that you are a girl and you feel to be a girl. So why transgender students should take a medical or psychological certificate? And so the students are more developed than ourselves, and us, and we hope that the director will accept it. It's not yet accepted, but Maura is supporting this initiative as director of SINAPSi. Let's go on. Information, yes. And we do a lot of initiatives on Gay Pride Day, on the Transgender Day of Remembrance for Transgender people, and so on. And for us, it's very important because we think that the association should feel the university near to them. So, and last year for the Gay Pride, it was very problematic for the pandemic, but it was a big meeting, and there were very, very, very many young students who were very happy when they saw a representative university among them, because this means that they are students, not gay students. And this let them feel included in the context. Web and information. So we have a site, www.bullyinghomofobico.it, and so on. Those are aimed at general population and student population. And to parents, to teachers of school who may have problems with school bullying or homophobic bullying and ask for our help in order to create a climate of inclusion, and not inclusion of and also parents. I will always remember once came father and mother of a boy who was gay and wanted to introduce his partner to the family. They lived in a small village near Naples. They were undercultured. They could not speak Italian, they speak dialect or our Neapolitan language. And when the mother came, she was weeping and said, "Oh, professor, I do not understand anything. Before I went with girls, now he goes with boys. Is male or female?" Of course, this is one of the stigma. If you are gay, you are no more a man, but from some people you are considered as a female. Because one of the big stigma in our society is the feminization of man. Man should be strong. Don't cry, you are a man. And if you say to a boy, don't cry, don't be like a girl, beside his friends, you are insulting him. If you say to a girl, don't play for football, be more feminine, you are not insulting her, because the stigmatization is about feminization of men. Okay, the father say, "Oh, what's horrible, they want to kiss." Let's explain the father this, but they were not prepared. And as a counselor, I understood that they needed a space of mediation. And so I invited them to come with their son. The son came, he was about 180 centimeters high, long beard, he was a soldier. I thought, I can do nothing. No, you have to cure him, you have to cure him. I cannot. You have to. I thought, I cannot, because if I would do anything, you should go and to the register of psychologists and say that I'm doing this, and they would cancel me, because in Italy it's forbidden for psychologists to do any reparative therapy, because you cannot change attitude of gay or transgender people. And we spoke about this. After a few minutes, the mother said, yes, I understand. Nothing can be done. I told her, yes, but why you say this? Because, Professor, this is only a problem of feeling, of emotion, of love. So you see how important it is through our website to offer the possibility to people to come and ask for help. And the scientific research showed us that the best thing to change attitude and to prevent stigma is culture. For that lady, it was useful to speak with an expert who could say very easy thing, who was able, I would say, to counsel her. We're using counseling in a very ample, widespread meaning. And let them understand that her son was her son. And she understood she had only to love him, because it was problem of love. Okay. Then we have the Observatory of Differences. It's sort of to develop good practice in the field of education and training, and promoting national and cross-national network agreements aimed at research, development and implementation of innovative methods and practice to promote inclusive education and common values. I mean, this is for us a very important issue. And then, of course, psychological counseling. Torna indietro un attimo. So, a place where students can express themselves and put questions about if they feel discriminated and so on. Let's go further. And we also have very many links with association. AGEDO is Association of Parents of Gay and Lesbian Girls. Group meeting AGEDO, Association of Parents, and then psychological counseling for transgender, gender non-conforming people, and psychological counseling for lesbian and bisexual. And among our personnel, we have also a transgender girl who help us to be in touch with transgender students, so they feel that they can speak with someone who will understand them. And for us, it's very important, the presence of a transgender person, because also for parents who say that transgender is at university is helpful in order to see that transgender means being transgender, nothing more than that. And transgender can become an historian, an architect, a psychologist, and we have many transgender students among ours. Let's go further. Yes, so this is about transgender. The term could also be gender variance, gender non-conforming, gender fluid. And this is nowadays one of the biggest for us as professionals. The big challenge today is non-binary genderqueer students. I don't know what's the situation in the States, but I think we are not yet really ready to accept non-binary, because coping with transgender issues and transgender binary people, it's easier. Okay, you feel that you are a girl, okay, go and change your body, cut your penis, and do all the transition that we can help you to gain. But with non-binary people, the problem is more complex, I think, because we still have a, I say, mind/brain binary. It's not easy for the geometry of our minds to accept someone who's saying, I may be a girl with a penis. But this is the big challenge. And as you know, everybody, every counselor, every psychologist, every psychotherapist who want to work in this field, as the line guide of the APA, American Psychological Association, says, have to accept a non-binary perspective. If you want to work with these people, you cannot put yourself on a binary position, but a non-binary position. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to accept their request of help. And so, I don't know, but also the guidelines of Counseling Association say this. Go further. And it's a big umbrella, as you say, non-binary, gender fluid, polygender, drag king, drag queen, and two spirits. It was very interesting. Facebook open to very many identities, and among the others were two spirits, the American two spirits. When they had to translate it into Italian, it was difficult translating counseling in Italian, so two spirits. And they found this solution, Femminielli. I don't know if you've ever heard about Femminielli. Femminiello is a Neapolitan word that describes the subjectivity, transgender. Because in Naples has been always a very inclusive city. And since the last 2,000 years, we have accepted people who did not feel to be men, even if they have a man body, but felt to be human. And they're called Femminielli. Because when we speak about this issue, we have also remember that when we speak about sexual identity, we speak about at least 4 factors: body, brain, hormones, genitals. But it's not enough to describe a person for sexual identity, because we know that intersex people have body different from the chromosomes, for instance. No? Then we have gender identity. How do I feel to be a man or a boy? Then we have gender expression. What do I do to confirm to myself and to the other people that I feel, and I not am, I feel to be man or woman? And then we have sexual orientation. The 4th factor are needed to express the sexual identity of a person. And going to the end of my discussion, when some parents ask me, I don't know, is it my fault? Mother say, why my son is gay? Why my girl is transgender? Can you say me why? I say, I don't know. You don't know? No, because it's very complex. But I say, can you prepare pizza? You say, pizza? What I mean? Yes. Let's try to prepare pizza together. When we have to prepare pizza, we need different kind of flour. White, yellow, rice, and so on. And from the flour, the pizza is different. Flour wheat. No? Wheat, yeah. Then we need, lievito, something to grow up. And lievito is different. Then we need the man who prepare pizzaiolo, and the hand of pizzaiolo is different. And then we need all the condiments, tomato and mozzarella and so on. And then with the oven. And if it is electric oven, gas oven, or wooden oven, you have different pizzas. So you see how many ingredients you need to prepare pizza. The same for every one of ourselves. We are the product of the strict and complex interaction of nature, culture, and casualty. So we cannot really know why I feel a man, why she feels a woman, or why my student feels transgender. And we have to accept this. And we have to accept that from the scientific point of view, we know enough about brain, but still about mind, we know very little. Because still no one really explains us how can a group of neurons that is pure matter is waiting. You can, no, give subjectivity, emotions. If we are fed, we say, where is God? Psyche. If we are scientists, not religious, we have to accept we do not know. So the important is to accept people because we do not know really what does it mean this. And this is the Alla's profile. As we told us, we offer to our students the possibility to be recognized as a gender. And okay, thank you for your attention.